he was not only a fantastic actor, he was someone who wanted to excel. Uh, he was not someone who was a regular hero or like a regular star. He didn't wanted to be acknowledged like that either. Hi, Suraj, how are you?
Hi. Sir, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well.
Sir, we just got this devastating and heartbreaking news of Sushant's demise, and we are trying to get over it. Um, you had done several interviews with him, and he has always been very whenever he talked with you. And sir, how was your experience? What is your current state of mind? First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling terrible, honestly, and so I just still can't believe it. I've done several interviews with him at the same time. I've spoken to him quite a bit. I had spoken to him. I still can't make it into past tense. I'd spoken to him like even off camera about a lot of things, and there was once that I did a, like a text story, so I did a telephonic with him. So I met him, and we did an audio recording of the conversation, and even after that, I spoke to him. So he was a very intelligent man. Like in terms of intelligence, se meri murad ye hai ki that he was a very well-read guy. He loved reading, and he read all sorts of books. He had a lot of interest in engineering and astrophysics and astrology, and a major engineering guy, major science guy. And I really had a bond with him. I have a bond with a lot of actors, but there was some sort of connect which I can't possibly explain. Because we meet a lot of actors on camera, we speak with them on camera, but if you have a connection with any of the actors or anyone off camera, and you want to talk to them, you want to converse with them, then that tells you that that person must have been really special. So I still can't fathom. And I'm really angry with the way certain media houses they are
Exactly.
just going outside his house and disturbing his family and trying to get some sort of reaction from them. What sort of reaction can you possibly get from a family?
Right.
And
Right.
that is shocking. And there are people who are sharing his last picture. Um, that is really shocking. That is really sad. And apart from that, um speculations have started. That in terms of why did it happen. It is I think deeply insensitive. It is not the time to be just going into and like a detective zone and trying to find out that what must have happened. And some of the stories that they're really filthy. See, someone has passed away for whatever reason. I think no one will take such a drastic step unless and until there must have been like a really strong reason for it. And we don't know what really happened. And it's not nice to have these sort of speculations. See, there are several countries who have very clear rules that what you can showcase in media and what you cannot. Certain things people don't have to know. Certain things people don't have to see. There are certain norms, but unfortunately, a lot of the people out here they're not following it, which is very very unfortunate.
Even I'm not able to fathom the fact that he has gone. I was his big fan, and that's why I'm not able to even talk properly right now. But
I remember
many,
you went with us for the Kedarnath interview to his house, right?
yeah, yeah, right, right.
Ah, of course, and you
I
spoke to him
saw
as well.
him, yeah, yeah.
Right,
I
right,
don't get
right, right.
something with him. Many celebrities right now are tweeting about him. So
You're
it
an
was
engineer
very
yourself. You're an engineer yourself, so I think yeah. Right.
right.
That was a connection. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we
Right.
also had a talk on the books he was reading at that time, and he was very
Of course.
lively guy. He was so funny, and
Of
he was
course.
so intellectual. Lots of celebrities are even tweeting about him, and he was so loved. Everyone loved him so much.
Hmm.
Because that person had something in him. So I want to ask you, what was your what is your impression of him? How was he personally? Whenever you interacted with him,
You know, he had a lot of substance in him in terms of that he was not only a fantastic actor, he was someone who wanted to excel. You know, uh, he was not someone who was a regular hero or like a regular star. He didn't wanted to be acknowledged like that either. Someone who's having films like Detective Vyomkesh Bakshi in his filmography so early in his career, and it was very obvious that that he was very passionate about art cinema, like cinema in terms of cinema that really cares for art. Even Son Cheriaz, the movie did not do well, but he was damn kicked about the film. He was really kicked about the film. You've been to his house, so when we had gone for that interview, you must have seen those pictures. You know, there were so many
right,
pictures
right.
of
Remember.
so many, like Steve Jobs was there, and there were portraits and there were paintings and
Right.
there were vinyl records of I think classics over there. So it was very obvious that he had very fine taste in cinema. At the same time, he was very passionate about cinema. He was not like competitive in the traditional sense, um, in terms of box office and all those things, because he could have done a lot many more films by then if he really had to do it. Because after Dhoni, he was heavily in demand. Um, but he chose the film that he wanted to do. So, and at the same time, as a person, he he was an intellectual. He thought, he deeply cared for his fans. I've
Of course.
interacted. I get messages from his fans, and I know how much they care for him. I understand that they're in a deep shock right now, which is understandable. And his fans, I strongly feel that the fans of any star, they are a reflection of the star in a way, because they attract the stars attract the sort of energy that is there in them. And when it came to Sushant, his fans, they had a lot of intellectual appeal to them. Many of them, at least, with whom I've interacted. You were there when we did that interview at his house, and he was wearing that Schrodinger smile T-shirt, and so there were so
Right,
many
right.
of his fans who commented on that, and it became like a sort of a inside conversation point amongst them. So that was pretty interesting. Um, so yeah, so it was he was a complete package, yeah. Much, I think, an artist in the true sense. Someone who was thinker.
Right,
He loved poetry, and
right,
not
right.
merely loved poetry. He posted on Twitter some really heavy duty stuff in terms of shairi. Like, I still remember he posted something from Muin Hasan Jazbi. Many of the people, they wouldn't even be knowing who Jazbi Sahab was. So Jazbi Sahab was a very fine Urdu poet, and he was like a classic Urdu poet in terms of someone who's known amongst the connoisseurs of Urdu poetry. And he posted Jazbi on his Twitter. I remember that. So yeah, too many shades to him.
And he was an outsider. He struggled a lot to get where he is today. He was today. Uh, he has some phenomenal performance in his kitty. Which is your personal favorite performance of Sushant Singh Rajput?
You know, it's very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say which one is my personal favorite. I still remember he came to our office in Mahalakshmi
Kaibul.
for the first time for Kai Poche, and he was such a rage even then because he was a big star on television and he was coming into movies at that point of time. So I thought he was outstanding in Kai Poche. I thought he was excellent in Dhoni. Dhoni, especially the physical transformation that he did, and the fact that uh, he became the cricketer. His entire stance, the way the helicopter shot was, and everything, he perfected everything. And that madness which he showcased when he used to run. You know, there's a scene where when he's running to catch the train because he has to go to some other town to play over there, and and he's working in some other town, and so that madness in his run, that showed the hunger in him as an actor. And So I love what he did in Dhoni. I thought he was outstanding in Detective Vyomkesh Bakshi. Movie maybe did not do well, but he was excellent. You should check out that interview that we did after Vyomkesh Bakshi with Dibakar Banerjee and
Yeah.
Sushant. Um, Sonchiriya, it was he was the fact that he gave so much to it, to that film was in itself so respectable because it was not a regular film. Many of the stars, I think they'll think twice because it's obviously like an offbeat film. It's a dark film, and which has certain shades of humor as well. But the humor is very subtle and very nuanced. Humor is there in Sonchiriya. Chichore did very well at the box office, and he gave so much to that film as well. The youngsters, they loved him, and the fact that he spoke about life, the fact that he spoke against suicide because his son in the film he tries to commit suicide, and he just tells him the story. So I think all of his performances they are excellent. I don't think that he has delivered should the Desi Romance like.
Right, right.
The movie did very well. The movie did well at the box office, and his performance was appreciated. So it's very difficult to find a performance of Sushant Singh Rajput which maybe did not like in Rapta, for example. Shah Rukh Khan has just tweeted about it that he wanted to be like me. He loved me a lot, and I loved him back. So in many ways, I felt Rapta was Sushant's ode to Shah Rukh Khan because we saw that same energy of Shah Rukh Khan in that particular performance. So yeah, tough to decide.
And you just talked about Chichore as well, and you just tweeted a famous dialogue in it. जिंदगी में अगर सबसे ज़्यादा कुछ important है तो वो है जिंदगी खुद. And what happened, what that film tried to portray that suicide is not an option, and what happened is absolutely contrary to that. How do you look at it? I mean, this is not a first case. There have been several such cases in our industry, especially in our industry. What do you think? What actually happens? What many people say that you can never know what's going in one's head. How do you look at it?
Absolutely.
What doubles them?
See what we see of actors on a movie screen or like in a movie is very different from what they may be in real life. So there have been instances of actors who are comedians and they end up committing suicide, and there have been examples of people who are motivational speakers, big time motivational speakers, and they have ended up committing suicide. So it's really very difficult. What we can always hope for is that I think that all of us, we should be sensitive and we should empathize with the person and with the family, because it has been tough last 3 months for everyone because of Corona and COVID. Like, people are not being able to move out of their houses, the level of precautions that one has to take, and then there's no work. People are not able to work. You're just constantly at home, and after a point of time, frustrations just start kicking in. We're hearing a lot of news about domestic violence because people are at home. They're getting frustrated, and domestic violence cases are on the rise as well. So it's a very frustrating time for everyone. So it's one thing that I request and I hope that people and the media should not be speculating beyond a point, because you can't get the person back. And what are you going to get? Like, you want to just milk it to your advantage, but that is being inhuman. The way it happened in Sridevi's case, I still remember. It was so sad. All those bathtubs were being created in newsrooms, and people were speculating कि ये हुआ होगा, ये हुआ था, ये हुआ होगा. What was that? It was like, and before they could actually, before even her last rites were performed, because she was in Dubai, the level of the number of stories that came up were bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre. And to say that media can speculate about and try to find, that is, you can't do that in a lot of the other countries, because there can be severe repercussions for that. But we get away because I don't know, we just get away, but It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea because in Sridevi ji's case, it was decided who the murderer must be and who must be
Right, right.
responsible for all that. That is bizarre. You know, you're playing with the 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 personalities. You're playing with the characters of people, and it's something which is definitely not cool. And I'm already reading certain stories about Sushant, which are an extremely bad taste. No one really knows what goes on in a person's life, honestly. And when he or she is not there to speculate and to just do these slanderous stories just to get some mileage, I think not a good idea. It's very unsettling, to be honest.
And the sad thing is, right now on Twitter, there are lots of such disturbing pics of Sushant that are being shared massively. How do you look at it? I mean, does it disappoint you in a way? Does it disturb you in a way?
I received it as well, and my first reaction was, as I told you guys as well, that we're not sharing it. And first of all, those are very disturbing pics. I don't know who leaked them in the first place. Maybe the police should have been more cautious. They're very disturbing pics. And to say that अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो कोई और कर लेगा, let them do it. Someone else is going to just jump off from a cliff. I don't think it's a good idea to jump off from a cliff either. So, not an extremely bad taste, and that's all I can say. And I know that this circus will continue for a few days now, and I'm sure that his relationships will be scrutinized, and a few of the actresses, they will be harassed. I am told that at least one of the actors that I have been told she is being harassed with the sort of comments which are coming her way. So those things will happen, but all I can say is it's very unfortunate. The man is not no more. We should look at his work. We should try and find nuances in his work. He did some really fine work in a very short span of time, and there's so much. Even in Kedarnath, for example, I thought it was an outstanding performance. The fact that when this entire Padmavat controversy was taking place, and here was someone who just came up and he said, "You must be remembering that I'm removing my name, my surname. These things are happening. I don't want to be privy to it anyway whatsoever." And he went ahead and did that.
Right.
He stood for what he believed in. He stood for what he believed in, and not everyone does. Not everyone does it. And he believed in it. I've had discussions with him off camera, and very well sorted guy, and someone who was inclusive, someone who was secular, someone who was very broad-minded, and extremely simple. You met him.
Right.
You met him. He was extremely simple. There was not an iota of that starry arrogance in him at all. He was very down to earth.
He's so friendly with his fans as well. If you see his conversation
very
on
friendly.
Instagram, so friendly.
Yeah, he was.
So finally, how would you like to remember Sushant from here on?
Honestly speaking, I still don't know what exactly I should be thinking of, because I still can't fathom the fact that he's no more. I really don't know. I have not. I don't have any sort of understanding on how, in a way, I'm going to deal with it. Because see, since the time I've come to know of it, I'm just thinking of all the conversations that I've had with him and what I've known of him. Simple, shy guy, will smile at the drop of a hat, and respectful, always waiting to do something different, looking for something new. And his movie is still not is going to be released. Dil Bechara.
Dil Bechara.
It was announced, I think, yesterday only, that it's going to be releasing on Hotstar, from what I understand. So, and ironically, if anyone has seen Fault in Your Stars, That's the name of the movie, right? Fault in Your Stars.
Yeah, Fault in
So
Your
if
Stars.
anyone has seen the movie, so both the hero and the heroine, they pass away at the end of the movie, which is so ironical. And that's going to be maybe his last film, because I'm not sure if any of his other films were complete,
I don't think so.
right?
Last was Drive, and now Dil Bechara.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dil Bechara, I think, will be his last film, and ironically, he dies in the film as well. So it'll be very, very keenly awaited for sure, because I'm pretty confident that it is completely, because it was supposed to release on June 8th. I'm sure that the movie must be complete. His part should be complete as well. And I really don't know what to say, man. I really don't know. I just hope that that his family is left alone, and they're not, you know, to just say that आपको उसके साथ में होना चाहिए था, कोई ना कोई family member तो उसके साथ में होना चाहिए था, वो अकेला क्यों था? You know, अभी now it's no point. No
Right.
point in, you know, they should, I think they must be grieving right now. They should be comforted. I think he deserves recognition rather than character assassinating him even when he's no more. Because I see certain reports and they're very heartbreaking. I hope better sense prevails. That's all I can hope for. What is your impression of him? How will you remember him?
Sir, I loved him. Actually, I watched his. I know him since his days of Pavitra Rishta, and I have seen his struggle. I saw his film Kaya Poche, and I absolutely loved it. In fact, I have watched Kaya Poche 10 to 12 times. I'm in love with the song, his performance, and I have watched each and every film of Sushant, and I simply loved him. In fact, last time I had tweeted that Sushant, you have made one fan for forever, for entire life. You have made one permanent fan, and that time I didn't even thought of all these things. I never thought I would see this day, and I was just heartbroken when I saw the news. And I still can't fathom it. I'm not even able to speak properly. I'm just
I can understand that. Yeah. No, I can understand. But I'm glad that you were able to meet him. I'm glad that you met him at least once, and yeah, I think fingers crossed. Let's hope better sense prevails. That's all we can hope for.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Suraj, and you take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.